Hello and welcome back to Equestria War, the Kasa Free State, under Altu Kexa now, the new leader of our great nation, who was democratically elected into becoming our new leader. Oh wow, these guys are noobs. Another raid? Okay, sure. Last time we just did a raid, and here's another raid. It seems the fiends of Barrett are not content to go. Yeah. Sure. Come at us, bro. Let's hope we defeat him again. Hey, keep coming at us. If you're gonna keep just losing, I'll be fine with it. At this point, it's just giving me more political power. And a little bit of stability. Like, if that's all you want to do, go for it. I'm down. Thanks so much. You wanna attack me again? Yeah, let's get partial mobilization. The Tartarus of fundraising. Altu sighed before downing a glass of the finest sparkly Westkeep. She used to enjoy those Aquilian beverage, in good company, that is, but there was at the Opera House of Seguro, surrounded by the wealthy elite of Kasa, trying to get donations from them. Oh, she knew how to handle it, of course. Fundraising and dealing with societies was part of a famous artist's life, and she was no average artist, but she loathed every second of it. She brought an assistant, one of Perina's old aides, who knew the Kazan business world quite well. The assistant brought her to meet a couple of wealthy factory owners. One could think they would make something interesting, but no. They made boxes, a lot of them, and they were doing quite well for themselves, enough to be able to fund several Exitsa programs or new equipment for the Barrett campaign. But much to Altu's dismay, they were even more plain and empty than the boxes they shipped. The wife had been talking about the proper choice of new chairs in her Austrian's winter residence, while the husband explained that he enjoyed collecting rare books and an investment, but cared little for reading. Finally, as she contemplated smashing her own head with the nearest bottle of Westkeep, the Aquilian wine got the better of her, and she laughed to a joke before telling the couple, "You know, I feel we ought to take inspiration in you, darlings, to be uncluttered in one's mind. Such simplicity can only allow us to filter so much things out." Altu's assistant glared at her like he was about to die from apoplexy, but Altu smiled and waited. After a few seconds, the business pony simply giggled and agreed, making her unsure if she should enjoy the display or scream out of frustration. Her assistant quickly pointed to some other zebra and quickly rushed her away from the couple before Altu could get a chance to tell them off. He proceeded to then try and give her a rundown of what she name's line of work. What does this one sell? Door handles? I got partial mobilization now. I think, we can just do this one then. Private in service of the public, thanks to generous donations from the affluent, we should be able to invest and develop our building industrial sector. It's a slow process and one that might benefit the burgeoning Kazan elite, but it'll be worth it. But we're doing nationalized crucial industries. Hard measures must be taken to secure military production for liberalization. Altu will nationalize the vital interests and make them adopt streamlined and modern industrial structures to produce military equipment. Alright, good. Oh, of vocal cords. Altu was resting on the porch of her home, looking at the distance. Her throat was still sore from yesterday's speech. She knew that it was important to give it, but it didn't make the pain go away any easier. Her husband interrupted her internal grumbling by bringing her a platter with some canter syrup, a few biscuits, and a thyme infusion. He then sat next to her with a slight and mischievous smile on her face. "What?" "Didn't say anything, dear," she cleared her throat. before grabbing the cup and snapped back. Cut it out. I know you, and you never smile like that if you're not hiding something. And started sipping her infusion. Alright then, I've hired someone, a flutist. Did you now? I didn't know the university needed background music, she said, wanting to laugh but trying not to. No, though I will take that idea to the rector. It's for you. She stared at him, puzzled. Why on earth did he think she liked the flute so badly as to have a private flutist now? He continued, I've seen your speeches, and dear, I say this with all the love in the world, but the way you whip yourself into a frenzy, well, it makes for powerful speeches, sure, and I know it's all from the heart, but you're making mistakes when you're angry, and worse, you're hurting yourself. You have some tells, so I've hired that flutist to stay on the sideline during your speeches, so he can play a few notes when you lose yourself, so you know when to pause and collect yourself. Altu was taken aback for a moment. She tried to answer, but didn't. Puzzled, she simply finished her tea. She pondered for a moment, while he crumbled a biscuit to throw some pieces at the bird. After a few seconds, Altu smiled and started giggling. You know, this is why I love you. You're the only one. You're the only whoever manages to shut me on. Aw, cute. So let's see, we got 7,000 and completeness will spawn 220 with completeness will give 2,500. I mean, I think I honestly want 7,000 of a worst weapon more anyways. This one will 310 with regular experience infantry divisions. I think I am just gonna jump in with the cheaper stuff, the quicker stuff. We're not doing deals with the Merchant of Death. Simple passion is not enough. Our people need weapons, and we cannot wait for our industry to catch up. So we look out to the world and buy what we lack, even if it means meeting the lowest creatures of the world. They will get the compulates eventually, but for now, we have bigger fish to fry. The leftover. If there was one figure that vexed her, it was the head of the civil service, that tedious little stallion that was Lua Ramedy. From the very start, he had annoyed her. It was not a good start for him when he had challenged her, preaching his hollow status quo policy before the people of Kasa, to think their positions might have been revered. Staring him down as he stood before her, as unperturbed as a rock, even as she could see the wheels spinning inside that shriveled little head of his. You don't like me, she told him. It was easy enough to figure out. He only raised an eyebrow in response, asking what she meant. Altu Kexa felt a twinge of anger at display. Drop the act, Ramedy. I know what you're playing at. You've stymied me from the very beginning. You bury my administration in minutiae. You tie up effort in meaningless quibbles, and you keep playing your game as if Manzu Urba is still there. I get it. The fact that I beat you must sting, but the people chose me no matter whether she groomed you to replace me or not. My question is to you is whether you really are going to keep undermining me, even when you pretend to be so professional. Lua Ramedy slowly sighed, removing his glasses, rubbing the bridge of his muzzle. It was the first time Altu Kexa had seen him react, but she had not expected what followed. With all due respect, ma'am, he asked, as calm as before, but with a voice like ice. I am head of the civil service, and that minutiae you talk about is my job. You carried the election, yes, but will fire and brimstone create wolves over the citizens' heads? Will angry rhetoric put bullets in your soldiers' rifles? I have not undermined your administration at any point, unless you consider bruising your ego when you fail to provide proper leadership. Undermining those meaningless quibbles is how you keep Kasa running, something your predecessor saw. That is why she straightened the civil service like she did. And if you wish to change that, then fire me. Make this my night of fire and replace me with psychoplant who will value your ego above the nation's well-being. Otherwise, please allow me to get back to work and provide more than merely your style of leadership. You're fired out now. Now get out of my office. You're not fired, but you're out of my office. Leave. Dust off the old arms. We simply lack the weapons to equip our forces. For this sake, Altu will call upon the population to donate their old firearms, once given to them by the state centuries ago, or privately acquired ones. What good is to pepper off the vermin when war rages on? Next. All the little hooves. The collection of guns from the population went well, better than expected even. Of course, what came out of it was less than uniforms. Some were hunting rifles or simple leisure small arms. Others were ancient. The more modern ones were usually offered by Broadfieldian or Griffin exile, or former thralls who stole them on their escape with the help of Scapatorian agents. Others were special. One elderly zebra, an Elhiha, Roska, brought a special package to the collection officer of the city. Inside was a sword of Griffonian style, still embedded with an oath of loyalty to Griffonian emperors, albeit crossed out and more recently engraved with the word Liberdadi. The old mayor proceeded to explain to the officer that had been a trophy taken by her ancestor at the Battle of Eberron Hill. Their family then used the sword in every war. Kasa fought since, almost losing them during the Austrian invasion, and now she felt like it was better the sword went back to the fight, even if it meant the last time. Altu had been informed of the donation and immediately asked to see it. Holding it, she was overwhelmed. Even if she felt a bit strange in feeling the same sentiment told by books about reactionary knights and their oath sword, she did understand the powerful symbol of this was, and so she rewarded it to the Field Marshal Lobu in replacement of his service sword. Kasa shall triumph. That's cool. We're not doing Trainer Para Aluta. Put the word out. Any refugee who wishes to return home are encouraged to enlist. We'll make sure the former serfs are able to take back their homes from the oppressors. We are doing Spread the word in the camps of Offercliff, for we are going to back with Bairds with cannons in tow. Arm the refugees. They too will fight to take back their homes. With their help, we will overrun Baird and make the enemy pay. Woo! Let's see, we can get to the innocent of Baird. Complete this focus will Baird will gain. So Baird will get division organization, supply, consumption, division. Or we will gain Baird attack bonus. I think I'm going to wait on these. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. I'm going to go... A fresh one. Yeah, let's do this one. Well, 35,000 is a lot, but I don't know. Yeah, let's do the other one. We're not doing Baird is burning in the ponies of the mountains who could flee the rule of the Pentarchy are pouring in Kasa. Yet for years, Makawiya stood on the roadside while the Zatsu hurts all of us. Let us appeal to them, to their love of freedom and democracy. They will surely aid us, for our struggle is shared and just. We are doing Nas Kasa. Kasa's cause is that of freedom. From the day we stepped off the Devash to the beaches of Ilha and Ruskas, it was our duty and destiny to lead the fight for freedom. Far too long we played second fiddle to Makawiya. No more. Baird will be our opening act. Our warning to the world. Our time to shine at last. We will earn the right to carry the banner of freedom by ourselves. Woo! The Old Liberator. Altu isn't a soldier, this much is known. She is a passionate poetress and a simple zebra, but there is someone else. One with embodied the ideal of radical abolitionism and the struggle for freedom. A Griffin veteran of wars gone by and robbed of his homeland, and she could use his help. Interesting. And who is this man you talk so greatly of? We gotta do it, even for roleplay value. We just have to do it. We gotta get the Light of Kasa. Like, come on. It would be wrong of us not to. The visionary Mad Griff. Altu Kexa had long pondered about what that meeting would look like. In her fight for freedom, she would need allies beyond the usual cause for Makwian help, and John Bronzeby was amazing among such potential allies. But was he capable? She was gambling a lot on such a meeting. When the griff known as Jan Bronzeby entered the room, Atsui's doubts dissipated. She could not take her eyes off of him. This Griff was tall, but made thin by a harsh life. She appreciated the finer details of the person, the mess of his feathers, the calluses on his claws, the dirtiness of his clothes, and yet the burning determination shining through his tired eyes. Third eye? Okay, apparently I'm noticing something that even she doesn't. To the average onlooker, Jan could pass for a mangy beggar. A very dangerous mangy beggar. But a poet knows a look further, and what she had in front of him was a walking tale of legend. After he sat, she discovered that Jan was a Griff of few words. After a small exchange, he bluntly got to the point. There was only one reason someone of authority would ask to see me. They want something, and it's usually to arrest or kill me. Your gods didn't take my sword, so I guess it's a third option. So what do you want? She usually didn't enjoy the most lactose Cohen of people, but there was something about that, Griff. You and I see the world in the same fashion, as a place in which tyrants rule, and which there is need for creatures with enough courage to cure of their gout by the proved medicine of execution. Until now, Kasa was a place for the mild absolutionists. But now that a new era has begun, I need creatures like you to give us an edge. I will get you weapons, supplies, training for your younger recruits, enough to make the proudest knights of Acurians sweat. What do you say? The Griff didn't answer immediately and scratched himself nonchalantly. One thing. What took you so long? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, you oh, wow. Portrait by Vasily? As in, like, the guide out here? Okay. Let's get it. That's gonna... I mean, hey, we're getting more monthly population, guys. We're saving more people. I'll wait on that. I'll wait on these things for now. Now let's go over to stuff over here. The Great Rearmament. The Asturias innovation in the alliance between the private military sector and the military with civilian oversight may be a productive venue to secure more weapons and ammunition for our war effort. There's also many other ways we can gather equipment without directly and massively expanding our industrial sector with all the costs associated with it. Let's study all of them. Well, it's time to start working through all of these. Yeah. Has not completed proclaimed hazard. Yep. So we're gonna be on over here for a little while before we can go down here, because I want to get a whole bunch of these buffs first. That's what I want. Why do we have planes as a minus? We have 8 planes, but apparently we're down by 92. What is there some sort of story to what happened to our Air Force? Like, what? Did we used to have a way bigger Air Force or something? Deal with the Makawian arms industries. Makawi, our old partner, has a thriving industrial sector, one that could quickly and reliably provide us with military equipment. It may have added beneficial of endearing the Makawian private sector to our cause, despite our economic and political agenda. Oh, we do have a new thing here. The donations from the affluent. The well-off citizens of Kasa have shared their wealth to the administration, aiding and funding government policies. Woo, we've done it. We're doing things. Guys, we're doing things. Yeah, majority of things are upon completion. So, yeah, we gotta actually complete other things as well. This one seems to be immediate, so I might do this one next. The Makawian military cooperation. Ever since first Commander Kasa took office, many in the administration pestered her about increasing military cooperation as a great way to facilitate her foreign policy agenda. Chief among them was the diplomat Silira Maru. Perhaps it is time to hear them out, even if the spirit of Altu's military plans are about reducing reliance on Makawea. Ain't still nothing wrong with getting support. So they're both communist, but the Kingdom of Broadfield is still alive, and they're pushing into them. Well, mostly dying there. What a weird civil war. Refugees from Barrett. In recent weeks, thousands of mostly Griffin villagers have been flowing into our country from southwestern Barrett. It seems a truly bizarre situation has been developing on the other side of the border. According to these refugees, their peaceful mountain villages were being ravaged by Griffin's mutant plants. Facing continuous attacks and receiving no help from the government, they chose to flee their homes and start their lives. So elsewhere. We gain a new general, a whole bunch of people, yeah, nice. Somebody new? Oh, wow, you are a general. Promoted? Yes. You are, oh my goodness, yeah, you're a general. You are welcomed to join us, 100%. Please, take over an army group. Go ahead. Man. Yeah, that's one general right there. The midnight meeting. The storm rain was battering the window of Altu's office. Altu looked in the distance as a tree fell in the neighboring park. She blew on her tea and drank a sip. The nightly storm was befitting her mood. So little was going her way. Earlier in the afternoon, they tried it again. Solera Mudu and the Harpy Lobby, as she began to call it, had been out in full force, trying to convince her to increase cooperation with the Makaweans. She had stormed out. Why was the Kazan establishment so tartar-spent on increasing reliance on Makawea, rather than developing a true army of freedom? She understood the use of it, but why expand it to such extents? The more power they have, the Harpies, the less Kasa would be able to choose their own way to wage war. She even pondered, was it to control her? Would Ramadia have to deal with such pressure? Thunder roared again in the distance as she took another sip. Then came a knock. For a moment she hoped it was her husband, but she knew he was away for a symposium in Fireport. She sighed. Come in, Solera. The diplomat entered, following by none other. Passarara. Altu sneered. What is he doing here? I don't recall hiring him. Celia interjected. I took the liberty of inviting him. Sir Pazarina is a well-known expert on Makawean relations, after all. He has only been communicating what is the public record, of course. Well, you get out, then. I can listen to the expert without the help of your ears, Solera. Solera looked surprised, but didn't object. He nodded respectfully, smiled, or rather smirked, and left. Was it what he had hoped for, or was it just his usual shifty self? She didn't know, but at the very least she would rather listen to the old accountant than rather than him. She sat back, sipped her tea, and waved at him to start talking. My first commander, Miss Nexa, I'm afraid that you are getting played like a fiddle. No, do not throw me out yet. What I mean is that Solera knows how to get under your skin, which is why he invited me. But I'll tell you this, I know him. He's offering you a deliberately limited treaty, hoping you refuse it. Then he'll use that to rally the advisory council into forcing you to sign a much more binding treaty. So play the part, sign, and maneuver from there. How do you know that, and why are you telling me? He cheats at cards and thinks I don't notice. You don't play, and I'd rather trust Ernest in military affairs. Fine. Interesting. Okay, now let's fund the military complex. To heavily invest in military industry will require to set aside a large part of our military budget. It will take time and effort to secure funding and still maintain some sort of budgetary balance. However, it will be worth it in the end. Let's set up a commission to study the matter. Yes, let's. Actually, what I want to do next is get, you. Let's go ahead and start getting some more army experience. Why not? It'll be useful in the long run. The Bairds are attacking Griffiths now. Oh, wait. Well, you're not aligned, but you're populist. You don't seem like the work. Yeah, you've got promises of rights, the first election. Yeah, you're somebody we might be able to work with. Interesting. Very interesting. Maybe, just maybe, we can work together on stuff in the future. Hold together the current system. The current network of militias in the Kasan army is unfit to fight the liberations that Altu had planned, but we can put in effort to ensure that they are up to snuff for the coming conflicts. Otherwise, we'll have to disband them. We don't want to do that. That doesn't sound good. But I think that'll be the end of this episode. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and hit the bell button. And as always, peace.